Where did eBay go wrong? Wow, I could be here all week telling you all the different finer points of that issue, but I'm going to try to make this as quick as possible. Let's start with these charts. Okay, most the people who started to find out about eBay was sometime around the year 2000, 2000, 2001. Lots of new people found out about eBay, and their numbers grew, as this chart shows, from 2000 up to 2007. The charts grew dramatically, and then something happened in '07, and we all know what that was. It was the housing crash. But eBay was a great company when it first started, and even in 2000, 2001, the idea was great. PayPal did not have its fingers around eBay's neck. Most of the sellers back in 2000 um, were getting, a cashier's checks in the mail, or uh, money orders in the mail. It wasn't a PayPal thing. I believe forcing PayPal onto the sellers was a big problem. Even though it sounded good at the time, it was a big problem. Let's go over this chart here. This chart shows that since the housing collapse, eBay is going down. It's just the numbers are just there. eBay's been making lots of mistakes since the housing crash, and Craigslist is picking up those sellers who are leaving. The sellers who are leaving eBay, Craigslist is definitely picking those people up. So what the major problem that eBay did not realize was you do not make the sellers mad. When your sellers leave, all the buyers disappear too. eBay had it all wrong all these years. When Donahue, and even that woman who was before Donahue, when they took over eBay, they thought the buyer was the king. And that may be true at places like Macy's and other stores, but when you're talking about the biggest flea market in the world, and that's what eBay was, it was the biggest flea market in the world. It's not the buyers that are important, it's the sellers. The sellers are the people who have the important rare items. If the sellers do not find those rare items, if the sellers do not offer them for sale, the buyers cannot buy them. Every flea market in the world operates on the pretense that the sellers have interesting things to sell and the buyers show up there. The buyers will show up. The buyers will show up when you have interesting things for sale. If you get in the way of the seller who finds these rare items, you're in trouble. And that's what happened to eBay. They found out the hard way that you don't mess with the sellers. And they did. I told you I could be here all week long telling you all the things that eBay did attacking their sellers, which was their most important customer. Yes, now I'm showing you some actual comments from all the eBay sellers who are leaving eBay. And believe it or not, eBay has come to the truth. eBay figured this out. In the last couple years, their numbers were dropping so dramatically that even the dumbest people who run the company figured it out. They said, duh, I think we made a mistake attacking our sellers. Duh, yeah, you made a big mistake, but it may be too late to get them all back. But what's the icing on the cake that proves to me that eBay got it? Was they've been offering free listings for, it seems like, at least over a year or two now. So for the last 2 years, eBay understands the mistake they made. They alienated and attacked their most important customer, and that is the seller who goes out there and finds the rarest items on the earth. The buyers are not important. The buyers are looking for rare items. They'll buy the rare items. The buyers don't mean anything. Oh, you may disagree with me. You say, oh, the buyers have the money. Screw you. Screw the buyers. The buyers are only looking for a good deal and they want the rare items. Try to go to Walmart and find a rare item. Cannot happen. That's why sellers are so important. That's why they can be so arrogant. And they told eBay, do you know what? Shove it. These sellers who are finding the rare items, and it's not easy to find rare items, they told eBay to shove it. We'll go to Craigslist, we'll go somewhere else, and that's why eBay went down, and they're going down hard. If it wasn't for PayPal, and that ingenious payment strategy. If it wasn't for PayPal, eBay would have went under a few years ago. So okay, so eBay and PayPal are separating supposedly. That the latest news come out. They say, "Oh, we're separating." How do you separate the fingers on your hand? I mean, that's another thing about corporations. Corporations can say, "Oh yeah, we're separating. We're no longer with PayPal." I just never understood how you can just say, "Oh, I'm separating." The way you separate is you sell something. If eBay were to sell PayPal, then I would believe they no longer own PayPal. But when these corporations say, "Oh," they just wake up one morning, they go out in the news and they say, "Oh, we're separating from PayPal." You just can't separate because you say it. You have to sell the company. Jesus, criminy, what's wrong with these people?